While Blade Runner 2099's upcoming release is exciting, Netflix already has existing Cyberpunk series that is a must-watch for fans of the Blade Runner movies. The Blade Runner franchise is one of cinema's most unlikely institutions. Although the Cyberpunk sci-fi series is consistently critically acclaimed, neither of the Blade Runner movies was popular with audiences upon their initial release. Based on author Philip K. Dick's sci-fi noir mashup Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? 1982's original Blade Runner was initially seen as too opaque and complex by both critics and mainstream viewers. It was only in the decades that followed that director Ridley Scott's movie was hailed as an influential masterpiece, earning a belated sequel in 2017's Blade Runner 2049. Unlike the original movie, director Denis Villeneuve's Blade Runner 2049 was critically well received, but with a box office payday of only $276 million on a budget of over $150 million, the sequel wasn't a financial success. Thus, the news that Prime Video's upcoming sequel, Blade Runner 2099, will be a streaming series comes as a relief to fans. The fact that this sequel won't be released in theaters means that Blade Runner 2099 can't be an obvious financial failure, while its longer runtime means that the series will finally have sufficient screen time to properly explain the complex lore established in Dick's novel. However, there is an existing Netflix series, the two-season classic Altered Carbon, that has already succeeded in bringing the cyberpunk genre to the small screen long before the release of Blade Runner 2099. Altered Carbon is the perfect binge for cyberpunk fans. A visually immersive, ambitiously complex sci-fi series, Altered Carbon borrowed the Blade Runner franchise's blend of dark neo-noir plotting and a futuristic setting. Set centuries into the distant future, Altered Carbon centers on a world where one body's consciousness can be transferred into another, effectively solving the problem of death for a select few. However, this process comes with its complications, and the world of Altered Carbon is far from a utopia. Like many cyberpunk shows, Altered Carbon tells a dark, twisty story where no one can be trusted. When former soldier-turned-private investigator Takeshi Kovacs is released from prison by meth Lawrence Bancroft, one of the richest men in the world, he knows that this favor will come with miles of strings attached. Indeed, it is not long before Kovacs is tasked with investigating a murder, specifically, the murder of meth Lawrence Bancroft himself. Blade Runner 2099 has a similar premise to Altered Carbon. This killer premise allows Altered Carbon to tell a complex story across its 2 seasons as the show's lead characters often transfer their consciousnesses from one body to another, a process known in-universe as resleeving. Thus, the Netflix show has a new actor playing its lead character in Season 2, and every supporting star's face changes throughout its naughty, complex story. With a superb cast that includes James Purefoy and Otto Asando, this Richard K. Morgan adaptation is a rewarding sci-fi series that is perfect for viewers waiting on Blade Runner 2099. Both sci-fi franchises implore viewers to consider what a consciousness really is, as the replicants of Blade Runner seemingly prove that emotions and morality aren't unique to humans, while Altered Carbon's characters can remove their entire personalities and beings from their bodies at will. These questions are central to the cyberpunk genre as a whole, making both shows perfect introductions to the movement. That said, there is no denying the fact that Altered Carbon's story is very complicated and may require more than one viewing, much like the Blade Runner movies and Prime Video's upcoming Blade Runner 2099.